baby.
Enjoy this great game.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel. This is Eric, and we got big news in the Trevor Bauer situation. It looks like he will not be facing criminal charges. Obviously very good for him. Doesn't necessarily mean all is well and he comes back and pitches for the Dodgers and there's no issues. Still could be a suspension by MLB, and it's kind of expected, actually, and I'll get into all that in a minute with my thoughts, and we'll get into this whole situation. But before I get too deep into it, I want to say thank you to everyone for checking out this video, and if you don't mind, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. Shout out to Wilson Breckenridge, my newest subscriber. I really appreciate all your support. So please hit that subscribe button. Also considering checking out the link in the description to my Patreon account if you want to support Humm Baby Baseball on a monthly basis. Y'all, my patrons, my members, y'all have saved me during this very difficult time during the lockout, and I can't wait for baseball to come back, and we're going to become a hardcore full-time when that happens, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. But what's going on right now with Trevor Bauer? That is what everyone is wondering. And right now, Trevor Bauer is going to be avoiding charges after an investigation into domestic violence allegations from last year. According to multiple reports, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office decided not to charge Bauer after reviewing messages between the pitcher and the accuser. The Pasadena Police Department's investigation and the transcript of the civil hearing last summer, the Los Angeles Times reported Tuesday. Sorry about this girl here, it might be a little distracting, I apologize. But yeah, very interesting that it took so long, but apparently there's just not enough there that they feel like they can get a conviction. Maybe they don't even feel that he's guilty, of a criminal offense, and that's why. We're going to also see what Trevor Bauer had to say about it. Trevor Bauer's already unsurprisingly spoken out. I've been following this case. I've had my opinion on it. I've said, the entire time, if everything that she's saying is true and he choked her unconscious and beat the hell out of her, I really don't care if she asked for it or not. I find that disgusting, and I just find that horrible behavior. I mean, obviously, there is a line you can cross, in my opinion, even when it is supposedly consensual. But I don't think anyone would argue it's stupid. The dude is a millionaire Major League Baseball player. For him to just beat up someone and choke someone unconscious, besides whether you think is okay or not, it's stupid. It's an idiotic decision, and I continue to say that if true. But Trevor Bauer has finally actually spoken out on that, and we'll see what he has to say about, what was true and what's not true about, these allegations. But anyway, 2 sexual encounters between Bauer and the San Diego woman from last spring were under the spotlight. Bauer was not charged after an investigation into the first encounter, and there was reportedly not enough evidence to prove that Bauer committed a crime in May either. MLB is still investigating the incident, and Bauer could face a suspension to start the 2022 season. Quote says, MLB is continuing their investigation. We will have no further comment until it concludes, the Dodgers said in a statement. Bauer was placed on administrative leave after the allegations first surfaced. While he signed a lucrative contract with the Dodgers before the start of the 21 season, he only appeared in 17 games. So MLB can still suspend him, and it's very highly anticipated that they will. Is that right? To be honest, I don't really understand how you can suspend someone who hasn't been charged, or if they've been charged and the charges were dropped, or if they go to court and are found not guilty. I don't know how you still, say, well, we're going to suspend you anyway. I don't understand how that happens, but it does happen. That's how MLB operates. It feels like more optics than anything else to me. If I'm running a sports organization, I understand we have we do not tolerate domestic violence, and I completely agree with that. But when you haven't been charged, I mean, how are you going to suspend him? I just don't quite understand that. Maybe there's certain exceptions if you got it on video, or or you've seen it happen, or you have information that this dude did something terrible. I can maybe understand, but in this particular situation, there's no video evidence. There's only, her side of the story and his side of the story, and he's not being charged. So I'm not a fan of Trevor Bauer, but I'm just saying I don't see how you suspend him, but I believe they will suspend him. I think it'll be a pretty long suspension. He was initially accused of choking a woman unconscious, allegedly punching her several times during 2 consensual sexual encounters. A judge denied the 27-year-old woman's request for a restraining order, and I talked about all the text messages and things, and it's very concerning that she is looking for money, that she's looking to get paid, and that she's been in relationships with other big leaguers before, and ultimately, not a Trevor Bauer fan, but I had to say that, his lawyers have a lot to work with, and I think it's going to be tough to get a conviction, and so it makes sense to me, and I'm not surprised that they're not even going to try to get a conviction. They're not going to press charges. After a 4-day hearing, the judge found, based on the alleged victim's testimony, that Bauer followed boundaries the woman set, and when we heard that, it became even less likely. The only thing I was surprised that it took so long for this announcement that they are not going to be charging Trevor Bauer. But Trevor Bauer had something to say, not surprisingly, on the topic after DA declines to file charges. Bauer's breaking the silence, saying, I never punched the woman in the face. I never punched her in the vagina. I never scratched her face. Never had anal sex. Never sodomized her in any way. Never assaulted her in any way at any time. In evaluating my life over recent months, it's clear I've made some poor choices, particularly in regards to the people that I've chosen to associate with. But I am not that person that this woman, her lawyers, and certain members of the media have painted me to be. That is what he says. The truth. The truth. That's a thumbnail right there. Props to Trevor Bauer for that. If that's the thumbnail, that's a freaking thumbnail. But, hey, he hasn't been charged. We had these pictures of the victim. Something happened. Something happened there. I believe there was something that, most of us would probably find, pretty unacceptable. But that's just a speculation. I really don't know what happened. We don't know what happened. But this is what Trevor Bauer has had to say. So check out his video, The Truth, where he says and I'll link that in the description, but he says that he didn't do any of these things and that he's not who everyone's painting him out to be. But, obviously he's a polarizing figure. I think that most people would not argue that. But does he deserve to go to prison? It's funny because when this news first dropped, I thought he was going to the penitentiary. I thought straight up, don't drop the soap type situation. I thought he was going to get locked up because it looked that bad. But then when those text messages started coming out after the court, and everything, I came to the conclusion that maybe this dude, like he said, doesn't make the best decisions. Not a very good decision maker. He talks a lot. He does stupid things. But did he do anything criminal? At least that can be proven. Probably not. And so he's going to get off the hook. Whether that's right or wrong, people will have their own opinions. My opinion is, hey, I'm going to respect the decision not to press charges. And I personally don't think MLB should necessarily suspend him either. But they will. And the Dodgers, he may never pitch for the Dodgers again. It's just the optics of the situation. And to me, if you haven't been charged and nothing has been proven in a court, maybe you have to just move on and say, hey, man, we can't prove anything. So Trevor Bauer not going to face criminal charges, but I believe he will get suspended. I don't think he'll ever pitch again for the Los Angeles Dodgers. I think he'll pitch for some team in the future. I don't think his big league career is over at all. But, yeah, I don't know if the Dodgers will be that team. There are articles out there talking about the Dodgers need to make it clear that he'll never pitch for them again and all this and that. And, ultimately, I'm kind of torn on it because I think that, the accusations are horrible. But ultimately, there's no proof. The DA is not going to be pressing charges. There's no criminal conviction. The only time he did appear in court with regards to the restraining order, the court chose in favor of Trevor Bauer, saying that he only did what she asked to do. Maybe she was out for money. Maybe he's a complete idiot. And maybe he does, he is into some violent sex, which most of us would find, pretty terrible. But if he didn't break the law, he didn't break the law. And I just don't know if MLB needs to be suspending him, but I think they will. And this is coming from a Giants fan. I'm just trying to be fair. Maybe he's a complete garbage human being, but you have to be fair too. Because remember, any of us can be convicted or could be not convicted, but could be accused of doing something. And, everyone jumps on the bandwagon and, what can you do? We've seen it happen before. And perhaps he did something terrible. Perhaps it wasn't so terrible, but ultimately he is not being charged. And I don't see how MLB is just going to step in and suspend him anyway, but I think they will. And that's just the situation. I don't know if, I don't understand how MLB can do that. If there is not a conviction, I don't know how they can do that, but they do. And that's just part of the CBA. They don't have a CBA right now. They need to get a new one going so we can get baseball back. That's all I know. So this situation is behind us for the most part, other than just waiting to see what MLB does, and that's not going to be anytime soon. What they do to Trevor Bauer, if they suspend him, if he ever pitches again for the Dodgers, who he's going to pitch with in the future, what his career is going to look like going forward after this, after not being charged, and after putting out this video saying that he didn't do any of those things. He's saying he didn't do those things. He didn't do those things. All that was fake. That was all fake, and she was just trying to get money. That's pretty much what he's telling us. So you guys can believe what you want to believe. I believe there's probably some truth on both sides, but ultimately I think that she was trying to get paid. She was trying to get money. Text messages prove that. And, hey, he's an idiot. But guess what? He's not going to jail. He's not going to the penitentiary. And you don't have to worry about dropping the soap. So you guys have a great day. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe. and we'll talk to you next time.
When the Giants come to town, it's bye-bye, baby. Every time the chips are down, it's bye-bye, baby. History's in the making at Oracle Park.